Please. Here.
Here?
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of November 14th, 2024,
I recommend approval.
and I concur. Bid openings, I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Nobody? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval for Officers Enrique Cook and Colin Lopez to receive field trainings officer specialty pay effective November 8th, 2024, and approval for Officer Ryan Gleason to receive certified breathalyzer operator specialty pay effective November 4th, 2024.
I recommend Chief Short's request.
And I concur. Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $406.40 of CIB funding to be allocated for the HAST signage and striping project submitted for approval.
Good morning to the board.
Good morning.
We did a project over at HASS. There was some additional work that we needed to do for $400, so we just need to cover those costs. Capital Improvement Board met Monday night and approved the funding allocation, asked for your approval.
Okay, and it's been signed by the mayor and the controller.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter C, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $19,800 of CIB funding to be allocated for the repave of Erie-Lackawanna Trail, design and agreement with First Group Engineering submitted for approval.
Trail's in poor shape, has been so for some time. Mayor has asked me to look into specifically getting the trail repaved. This is the design work and get it ready for bidding.
Okay.
Capital Improvement Board met Monday night and funded it. We'd ask for your approval of both the funding allocation and the agreement with First Group.
Funding allocation and agreement.
Okay. I recommend the approval for the funding allocation and the approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Moving on to letter D, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $41,500 of CIB funding to be allocated for the Kennedy Avenue reconstruction, 164th Place to 169th Street, and supplemental agreement for professional services with Lockmuir Group submitted for approval.
Project's extended long. The engineer on the record observing the project has been dealing with repeated actions on the projects. We're close to wrapping up. This should be the last change that we have. So you have the supplemental agreement and the funding allocation that was approved Monday night at the Capital Improvement Board meeting.
Okay.
I recommend approval for both the supplemental agreement and the funding.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter E, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $13,323 of CIB funding to be allocated for the Marble Street reconstruction and change order number 2 submitted for approval.
Marble Street, we had extended duration as a result of NIPSCO having to relocate some facilities, those locator riser pipes that they have throughout the city. Took them a couple months to finally get those moved. Then we needed to patch those areas, and then so this is the change order to do that work. Funding was approved Monday night at the Capital Improvement Board, so I'd ask for your approval of the funding allocation and the change order, please.
Yeah, I recommend approval of the funding and the change order.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter F, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $31,704.32 of CIB funding to be allocated for the 75 through 7600 blocks of Van Buren Street resurfacing project and change order number 1 submitted for approval.
Additional tree removal beyond what we originally expected, and there were 2 sewer lateral repairs that needed to be completed that was discovered after we had taken the roadway off, and we needed to put it back before we rebuilt the road. So that's what the change order is for. The funding allocation was approved Monday night at the Capital Improvement Board, so I'd ask for your approval of the funding allocation and the change order.
All right, so I recommend approval of the funding and the change order for Van Buren.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter G, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval for $137,248.67 of the 3rd District Gaming Fund and $539,387.83 of the 4th District Gaming Fund to be allocated for the 3rd and 4th District lighting project.
So you have 2 green sheets there that went through council, right? These are council funded, not CIB funded. They've been signed off by the councilmen themselves.
Yep.
This sets the stage for the next 2 actions. These 2 funding allocations fund both the street lighting construction and the observation of the construction. So I'd ask for your approval of both funding allocations by the councilman.
I recommend approval of both.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter H, correspondence received from Nees Engineering Incorporated recommending the bid for the 2024 Hammond Lighting Project be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Midwestern Electric LLC, in the amount of $621,246.50.
Chris Moore from Nice is here if I can't answer the questions that the board has. This bid was open, I want to say it was in September or October. We'd ask for your approval of or to award the contract to Midwestern Electric, and then we would go to contracting in a couple weeks. We would come back and ask for executed agreements. I ask for your award, approve the award of the agreement to Midwestern Electric.
Okay.
I recommend approval of awarding the contract to Midwestern Electric.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter I, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of the professional services agreement with Nees Engineering in the amount of $55,390 for the 2024 Hammond Lighting Project.
So this is the construction engineering agreement with Nice. I'd recommend your approval.
Thank you.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter J, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the request for proposals for street lighting and signal maintenance that was approved for December 5th, 2024, be changed to December 12th, 2024.
Just internal delay getting this out on time, so we'd ask for your approval to correct the date you would be receiving the proposals. This is not an advertised bid. We're soliciting proposals as professional services.
Okay.
So I'd ask for your approval of the change in date.
Okay. I recommend approval of changing the date.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Button. Okay, number 8, matters from board members. You have anything, Donnie?
No, sir, Mr. Long.
You're being very tenacious this morning.
Thank
you. Number 9, new business. Letter A, order to rescind and release order to demolish for property located at 1434 Sherman Street. Good?
Good deal.
We're good.
The property has been, good morning, Board. The property has been successfully rehabbed and is quite a nice addition for the neighborhood. So if you would affirm, please.
Thank you.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter B, request for late business license appeal hearing submitted for approval.
I recommend we set this for December 5th, 2024.
And I concur. Letter C, emergency demolition hearing on property located at 940 Field Street.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
I'd like the Board to affirm the emergency demolition order for 940 Field Street. I believe Mr. Klein has provided you with pictures of the condition of the property, and it is very extreme. If the Board does affirm the emergency demolition, I will get a hold of the contractor and set up demolition as soon as possible. The gentleman that was in the property has been relocated with family members, and property is boarded up, so he would not gain reentry. If you would affirm the action, we'd get the demolition done as soon as possible.
That is actually the roof caved in, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're
Okay. I recommend approval of the emergency demolition for 940 Field.
That's under Indiana Code 36-7-9-9.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I concur. Letter D, notice of violation hearing for property located at 1530 Atlas. Thank you.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Back in September 10th, I did an interior inspection of this property due to the owner coming in and asking what she had to do to be able to rent her property out. When she discussed what the conditions of the property, she informed me that it was a 3-unit building, and we did not have it as our record, so that's why I requested an inspection. During the inspection, I determined that the basement at one time had 2 units. They had converted it back to 1, but the basement apartment did not meet current codes for habitation, didn't have 7-foot ceilings, didn't have egress windows for evacuation in the bedrooms. Then I also did an inspection of the second floor apartment, and once again, we did not have 7-foot ceilings throughout the majority of the area. As you can see in one of the pictures, there's a sink that's like about 3.5 feet under the ceiling.
Yeah.
So, and the bathroom was the same way. They didn't have the adequate space over the fixtures, so that would not be considered a habitable apartment. So we're requesting the removal of the basement apartment and the second floor apartment.
Okay. I recommend approval that we remove the second floor and basement apartment.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Letter E, plat of U-Haul Calumet Avenue addition submitted for approval,
I recommend approval.
and I concur.
Hi, gentlemen.
Large plat.
Good morning.
Did you have something to speak on that?
Well, I mean, so it basically, they had to edit their property lines on the south end, southwest corner due to NDOT. So their egress, their entrance exit was too close to the public alleyway that comes off Euclid Avenue.
Okay.
NDOT said too close, so they combined the two, and so they gave some property to the city to widen the alley and create enough space to be able to pull in and also go down the alley. So this is gonna be for the new U-Haul project that's
Okay,
happening there.
gotcha.
They also donated a little bit of the corner to the state right away so that they can have a proper sidewalk at the corner there. But so it was just kind of technical stuff.
So they were always able to exit on 165th. They can now exit where? What was the other?
So they could always exit on Kenwood and 165th, but now with the increased traffic and they wanted to move the egress, the entrance a little further south on Calumet Avenue, NDOT said that's too close to the existing alleyway. So instead, they're just gonna make one curb cut for the alleyway and their entrance exit, but there will be a stop sign and different kind of, things to show you, turn here to go to U-Haul or keep going
Gotcha.
down the alley.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Letter F, right-of-way permit submitted for approval.
Mr. Gordich?
Good morning. So we have one, it's 4417 Ash. All it is repairing a water line that goes into the alley. It should be done within a day. So I recommend approval.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter G, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 918 Willow Court submitted for approval. There's a status thing on here for 25.
Has that rehab agreement been signed?
Yes.
Please affirm that we can go forward with rehab of this property.
You want the status date right before the date, like
We have a status date for February 27th because the expiration date is March 1st.
That's fine.
You want to keep it that way?
Yes, yes.
I recommend approval and set a status for 2/27 or 25.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 10, old business. Letter A, gas station exemption renewal for 7305 Kennedy Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Could you give us your name again, please?
Kayed Hammond.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Did you guys get the photos?
We
Yes,
did.
Okay, cool, and everything, okay.
We did. We didn't know if you were going to be here, Tom. We were
I
going to
get
say
it.
that as long as you're happy with the things that have been done since the last meeting?
Yeah, I mean, he took care of the dumpster enclosure, moved the payphone, did a little restriping, moved a trash can so, that didn't impede ADA access to the door. So we did do a number of things. He did some patching in the parking lot. He informed me he wants to redo the whole parking lot sooner than later, but for now, they patched what they can. The only outstanding, he's gonna post address numbers on the rear. That was one outstanding issue, and also, so on the cashier windows and the front door windows, they're cleared. They meet the requirements for, signage in the windows, but in the sales floor area, south of the door, it's fully covered. The issue, like a lot of places, is there's shelving in the way on the inside. It may not look that great to remove. They are attached to fuses. I would just say that, once those window decals become sun faded or damaged, please remove them. In the next year, just consider rearranging those shelves so you can open those windows up. But that's minor to me.
Okay, well,
Everything else.
This had already been approved. We were just seeing if we were
Yeah.
able to
So
correct those things.
he did hire a fence contractor and did things, so I'm satisfied.
Okay. We don't need an action?
No.
We're good.
We're good.
Okay,
As long as you're good, yeah.
sir, thank you.
All right, no
Continue to make the improvements, as Tom said, and thank you very much for being here this morning.
no problem. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a
Thank
happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
You too.
You too. Okay, letter B, appeal hearing for late business license for high-impact towing. Could you come over to this one? There you go, thanks. Thank you.
Good morning.
Could you give us your your name, sir? Sorry.
Jose Garcia. Jose Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Okay. What's happening, Nick?
So with this business address, it would appear that they have never had a license issued by the city of Hammond, and so they actually owe from 2005 through 2025, which would be 21 years. My recommendation would be to forward this to Smith-Ursuch's office so that a settlement agreement can be reached based on the number of years that were owed.
Okay, can anybody, do we know why it's taking this long, or can you tell us?
I just became like the legal owner. It was the business was my father and I's, but my dad was always the president and took care of everything legal-wise, accounting, everything. So I took over at the beginning of this year. So I've been making changes to improve and do things differently than my father. So from my understanding, my dad came one time, according to him, to get a business license, and I have no idea where he got it from, where he did not need one. So when I was taking over in the beginning of January, I started changing everything, accounting, lawyers, everything. So to my understanding, I didn't need a license until I got the letter. So that's the reason why I came to see if there's any possible way where we could at least not have to pay the late fee, but I'll take care of, if you want, from '05 to now, the license. So I don't mind that, but just like the late fee will hurt me in a way to pay that amount just for late fees. So that's
Okay.
where I came.
Yeah, I understand that. If this was a year or two, we would
I-
make a decision, but because it's so many years, that's why we're forwarding to Smith-Ursuch. They will work out an agreement with you.
That's fine.
And hopefully some kind of, maybe even a payment plan if you need that or something, but.
Whatever needs to do.
At this point, that's what we're going to do, because it's
Okay.
too many years for us to consider.
Oh,
whether
no,
it's something
I
we
completely understand. Like I said, I'm just learning. Like I said, this is my first year being in full control of the company. So I'm learning the process, and that's why I'm here to take care of the issues that my dad did not take care of.
have. Okay,
I recommend we send this to Smith-Ursuch.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I concur, sorry. Status for 30 Warren.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning, how are you?
Good.
Could you give us your name, please?
Yes, Felipe Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good.
Do you like to start or?
Mr. Hernandez, have we done any inspections on the property recently?
Yes. Recently, actually, we have done all the electrical, HVAC, plumbing, rough inspections. Next week, I'm estimated to do the final inspections for all of them. So we should be good to go and get occupation next week. Early next week or the following week, first week of December.
From my notes from Mr. Luter, he's satisfied with the progress. Things seem to be happening, and as long as the inspections are being done, finals are done, we can move forward. Is there a status date for this?
We can
We
make
have-
one.
Yeah.
He's saying a week, so do we want to do 2 or 3 weeks?
Let's do 2 or 3 weeks for sure.
Let's give it 30 days, have the cushion with the holidays and such.
Correct.
January 9th or 2nd?
You want to set it for the 26th? We're not sure about the 26th, but 19th, can we make it the 19th? Is that good enough, or you want to go after the first of the year?
Sure. After the first of the year,
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
do like the 2nd or the 9th.
Depending on what you want, Kelly.
Yeah.
let's do the 2nd, December 2nd.
The January
December-
2nd?
December 2nd.
December 2nd, okay.
No,
That's only a week away.
it's only a
Oh,
week.
geez.
2 weeks away? No, it's either, December 19th we have
That's
open.
the 19th.
Okay,
All right. I recommend we set this for status for December 19th.
and I concur. That's good with you, sir?
Yep, that'll be good.
Okay, December 19th, 9 AM, same place.
You got it.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate
Any
it.
problems, contact us or contact Bill Luter. Good luck.
Okay, letter D, status for 1463 Indianapolis Boulevard.
According to my notes from Mr. Losing, 1463 Indianapolis, the contractor states he hasn't heard from the owner in months and is assured the owner, or it could be a cash flow problem. Proceed as counsel and legal like to have it. Which, all finals are in?
Yes, all finals are in due to our Zone Pro notes for the
Okay.
property.
So then we have made contact with the owner then, or
No,
no?
I just, all the inspections have been called in, all
Oh,
of
I
them
gotcha.
finalized.
Who's the contractor?
That one was Dragonfly.
So what
We
do
have
we,
a status for the December 19th date.
Okay.
I'm curious why the contractor's saying they have not been in contact and we have finals. It's suspicious to me.
okay,
All right, I recommend we set this for status for December 19th.
and I concur. Letter E, status for 941 Reese.
Abel Batista is here to present the update.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Board.
Could you give us your name, please?
Yes, Abel Bautista. We're the contractors for 941 Reese, and we know it's on the demo list. We just ran into a couple of things, but if we could ask for an extension for 60 days, and we should be done.
It's fine with us.
You're satisfied with that?
So,
I got it, yeah. So, like January 23rd or 30th?
23rd.
January 23rd?
That's fine. Yes, sir.
25.
yeah, I recommend we set this for status for January 23rd, 2025.
And I concur.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you.
gentlemen. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to number 11, late rental registration hearings, letter A, 7130 McCook.
Hi, I'm Felipe Carrillo.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What happened?
Oh, so I bought this property back in April out of a friend, I would say. And I didn't even know that I need to register once I buy it. So last month on October, the 2-unit house got occupied. So I came to register and they told me that I was late.
Okay,
Yep, so it would look like the property was quitclaim deed on April 4th to Mr. Carrillo here. As the owner, this is the first time that he's late registering the property. It is a 2-unit, we're here for 2024. The only other thing I would mention is that there is a homestead tax exemption that is still applied to the property address, so I would just ask Mr. Carrillo to complete this form and then get it back to us so that we can send it to Lake County.
you
I
understand
can
that,
do
Mr.
that, yeah,
Carrillo?
of course.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. I recommend we waive the late fees.
And I concur. Mr. Carrillo, if you'd like to, after the meeting today, you can take this downstairs. She's going to give you a copy and you can pay the $10.
Okay, sounds very
Okay.
good. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay. Number 12, the meeting's open to the public. Anybody have anything they want to say?
No. Mr. Buck.
Good morning.
Good
morning,
I would say give your name, but we know who you are. What's that? How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good.
What can
I'm
we
the
do for you?
former precinct committeeman in the 2nd District over by Sherman, Summer Street. And we don't want that gun shop. You know, that guy's trying to bring a gun shop
Oh, the one
in a
in Sherman.
residential
Okay, gotcha.
area. And the people come to me because they know I'm gonna come and I'm gonna speak.
Right.
And so we don't want that. Whatever you guys have to do, if we have to get a petition going, whatever we have to do to keep that gun shop out of this residential area, because we know what's going to happen.
Mr. Buck, could you do me a favor, give your full name so everybody
Yeah.
knows?
My name is Reverend Paul R. Buck Sr.
There you go. I mean, we know you, but I didn't know if
Yeah.
everybody else knew you.
Yes.
So the only thing we can tell you about that situation is the license has been turned down.
Okay.
And whatever they decide to do next is kind of on him. So for now, it won't be open.
Okay.
And if there's any change in that, I'm sure everybody will be
Yeah, if
made
there's
aware
any
of it.
change where he want to fight it or whatever,
Yeah.
we can get petitions from the residents.
Absolutely.
We don't
Because from what I understand, that's part of the requirement, to talk to the residents around the house.
Yeah.
So that would happen anyway, so.
Yeah, we don't want it, because we know soon as they find out somebody going in there.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have guns everywhere, and we don't want that.
Okay.
You know, his kids in Washington, our kids are here.
I got you,
So
got you.
we don't want that.
Gotcha.
All
Well,
right,
thanks for
thank
being here, Mr. Buck. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Anybody
Yes,
from the
sir.
public like to speak? Good morning. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Could you give us your name, please?
Sure. My name's Josh Boyd.
Okay.
I'm a general contractor, Dunright Developments. It's a dilapidated property, Ruth Court, right down the street. You guys are set to tear it down. I was looking at purchasing it previously. I'm wanting to say there's like 60 units there. There's studios and one bedrooms.
You talking about 2 to 6, Ruth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
This property comes up often, and one of the issues is that at one point it was legal non-conforming. It was a legal apartment building at the point where people were driving streetcars to go downtown and walking in to local grocery stores and such. The issue that's going to be with this property, 2 through 6 Ruth, is parking. You have how many units, sir?
Well, there's 44 and then 26, and then there's a huge lot in the middle. I'll be glad to make that into a parking lot.
The problem is that it's not zoned for that now. So
Okay.
your first step should be to Tom Novak, the gentleman who was up here earlier, or Brian Poland in planning. But understand going forward that one of the main issues is going to be parking. You can imagine how many cars are going to be there for that and trying to find a space for all those vehicles. So I'm not saying, I won't speak on behalf of Brian or Tom Novak or the planning department. I'll just say going forward, your biggest issue is going to be parking.
Okay.
And I would suggest speaking to those gentlemen and letting them know your interests.
I'd be more than glad to, but before we get that far, I want to try to stop it from being torn down. You got to fix it, you know what I mean?
There's no immediate threat of that.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
Okay.
So can you just make sure he knows their numbers or how to get a hold of them?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
appreciate your time, yeah.
No problem.
Thank you,
No
sir.
problem. Anybody else from the public like to speak? Chris?
Chris?
Okay. Okay.
I recommend adjournment.